sports, 100% reflective. Sometimes it's Raven. Sometimes it's other teams affected. Hold on tight, strap in. It's going to get hectic. Couch Rider Report. An original sports perspective. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your host, Jermaine Lockett. I am hype, y'all. I am so hyped right now because, hey, look, I'm even wearing the jersey right now because, look, we got an actual game scheduled. We're on Monday Night Football. We're going Vegas, baby. Baltimore Ravens going to Vegas to face off inside the the black hole or the black pearl against the Las Vegas Raiders. This is exciting. I'm pumped up, and I just want to talk to y'all about 5 different things going into this game because we know that this is a matchup against previous Ravens. If y'all don't know, look, Yannick Ngakoue is over there. Look, we lost KO at one time as Kelechi Osemele. At one time, he was a Raider, and then he went elsewhere. Willie Snead, and then Darren Waller. So Yannick Ngakoue, Darren Waller, and Willie Snead are sitting on the other side of the fence. They may know our game plan. Number 5, Willie Snead. Will he get fed enough to stay off his Twitter? Y'all know it. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen it during the offseason. He took shots at Greg Roman. It wasn't fair to Greg. Greg had one of the number 1 rushing offenses in the league. And, of course, when you have the number 1 rushing offense in the league, your receivers are like, hey, I'm a diva. Did y'all not know that I'm a diva and I deserve to be fed? So Willie got a little bit bitter, jumped on his Twitter, went off on some fans, and said, hey, it's easy to be a number 1 wide receiver when the offense is set up that way. Look, bro, you knew what you got into when you signed this contract. You knew that Baltimore likes to run the ball. If you look at the history of Baltimore, even before Lamar Jackson, Baltimore is built to run the ball. He's sitting here salty, him and Dez Bryant. You know what? Peace out to both of y'all. Best in your careers, whatever. You ain't going to get above 50 yards against the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Guarantee it. Number 4. Let's talk about these Monstars. Will the Monstars be able to contain Joshua Jacobs? Can they hold him? I don't know. Josh is he's that dude. He's that guy who's like, hey, he's got 12 touchdowns in 2020. He had 9 in 2019, and I believe he's a back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher for the Las Vegas Raiders. But we got the Monsters here. We got them all back again. It took a minute. People thought, hey, we're going to get them back because Wolf felt underappreciated. But we got him back under contract. So we got Wolf. We got Matabike. We got Big Baby Brandon Williams. We have Bowser sitting in there. And, of course, the main chess piece that's going to clog up that center is Calais Campbell. The problem is, on the edge, let's be honest, even though we have Odafe Away, I had to get the name right. I had to make sure I wrote it down. Odafe Away. Even though he is there, it still could be a problem on the edge. Can we stop the run? Can Baltimore stop the run to the outside? Because whenever those stretches happen with the running backs, then usually Baltimore tends to have a little bit of a problem with that, guarding the C gap. Hopefully, Odafe Away and Calais Campbell and all the big Monstars that we have there can help clog up those holes, seal the edges, and make sure we stop this big boy here in Joshua Jacobs, because he ain't playing around. He's one of those guys like, hey, when you see his name pop through in the first round in fantasy football, you're like, all right, thank you, I'll take that. It's because he produces big boy points. But, I'm not a big fan of him on Monday Night Football, so I'm hoping he doesn't pop up much at all. Number 3, Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick has been looking at Lamar Jackson for the majority of the 2020 season. He knows what Lamar's tendencies are. Is that going to be a disadvantage for Baltimore? Personally, I don't think so. I think, hey, if Myles Garrett, who's obviously better than Yannick Ngakoue, if Myles Garrett can't stop Lamar Jackson, then what's Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue going to be able to do against him? No. Lamar is still going to be Lamar. He's going to get loose. He's going to start tearing some stuff loose. That's just what he does. I made a rhyme. Number 2, the LJ Bateman connection. That's Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman connection. What is it going to look like? Who takes on Bateman? These are all some solid questions that came from a couple of people on the We Are the Ravens flock. All right, the LJ Bateman connection. I don't even know if he's going to be the number one wide receiver, because you see who Lamar's bestie is right now, at least two of his besties. You got Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown. They over here hanging out in gas stations together. I don't see Bateman at a gas station. I see Sammy Watkins came and hanging out. But I do want to see this chemistry build between this receiver and this quarterback, because hey, should be a number one wide receiver for the future for the Ravens. I'm not saying anything against Hollywood. All I'm saying is you need an X-type wide receiver, and Holly just ain't that. Holly will catch that deep ball, no doubt. Let's just look at Rashad is there for a reason. He was brought in, and EDC wants to be known for that guy who brought in that X-type receiver. He even said it in an interview recently. So when you look at this connection coming into week one, hopefully they get enough reps in camp to make it look like something pretty, because they got a great opportunity here. They're facing the 26th pass defense in the league. Now, that was last year. There may be just a small kink in the operation, because let's take a look at it. Because when you look at what this defense is turning into, it's turning into the defense that stops Lamar Jackson in the 2018 playoffs, because there's somebody running it who's very familiar. Gus Bradley, who was with the Chargers. He was their defensive coordinator for 4 years, and then he comes over to the Raiders to be their defensive coordinator. This could pose a problem, because he is the one who started the formula on how to stop Lamar Jackson. They stopped the run. They shut it down. They put, all DBs on the field and still was able to stop the run. Very impressive. But that offense has Lamar. It's been evolved since then. So Lamar should come through and wreck shop, because they also are trash against the run. Let's just call it what it is. They are the 26th against the pass, and they are 24th against the run, 25th ranked overall defense. Pretty bad. I don't know if Gus can turn that around, especially with the additions they made in the offseason, which wasn't much, I'll be honest. I mean, Yannick is not built he's not built against the run. And then if you look at their corners, maybe a little suspect. Let's just take a look at it. PFF had them rated almost in the 70s, all of their corners, except for Casey Hayward. Now, they had Nate Hobbs, who's a fifth-round pick. I don't think he's going to come in unless he had battles in camp and blows it completely up. He's not going to be on the scene. They got Trayvon Mullen, who had 2 picks in 2019, but he was pretty shoddy against the run. And then you have Damon Arnett, who has comparisons to Aqib Talib, according to his coach. Came out of Ohio State. Had 0 picks in 2020, but like I said, he could be like that wild card who could take off in his second year. You never know what's going to happen there. He's a good tackler. He's a good bump and run corner. Like I said, comparisons to Aqib Talib, so we're not sure what's going to happen there. He may be the one that faces off against Rashad Bateman, but there's still a plethora of weapons to deal with in Sammy Watkins and Hollywood Brown and James Prochet and Devin Duvernay. I'm just naming off names on the roster, but you know what I'm saying. We got weapons, folks. We have weapons. Like I said, there's Casey Hayward, who came over from the Chargers. He's familiar with Gus Bradley's system, so there is that continuity there. He may be able to be a leader in that system to help the team out. So we'll see what Lamar looks like in that situation. Now, of course, the number one question, Darren Waller. How's Darren going to look at this game? Is he going to look at it as a revenge game? Is he going to look at it as hey, I need to show y'all and thank y'all for cutting me, because this is a wake-up call for me and I need to go ahead and rip y'all apart? Is he going to have a career day against Baltimore? I sure hope not. I really hope not. But you know how Baltimore is against the slot. It's not as strong against that slot wide receiver or against those tight ends. Go look at the Houston tape from last year. We kind of got it ripped apart by basically a no-name tight end. And I think his name was Aiken, no disrespect. Darren had back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons. And last season, this man had 9 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns. This could be a problem for the Baltimore Ravens. Do we have a nickel who's going to stay healthy, or an outside linebacker who can run, or a safety who can run with Darren Waller? Is Elliott going to be manned up on him all day? It may take something along those lines to stop this beast of a balling out tight end. I mean, just who was a former wide receiver. Y'all saw it in my previous post. Wide receivers that are that tall transitioning over to tight end can be extremely dangerous, which is why I think Miles Boykin should also transition. But some of y'all disagree with me on that. But whatever, your mama. Darren Waller is going to be a problem on Monday night. But let's review, folks. We got Willie Snead over there. Like I said, he's going to be whining the entire time if he don't get the ball. The Monstar should be able to shut down Josh. We have Yannick Ngakoue over there peeking into the Ravens' mind saying, okay, we know what's going on, so he knows how to shut down Lamar, so he thinks. Not really, not going to happen. And then you have the Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman connection. What's it going to look like? Nobody knows, but obviously they have opportunities to make things happen with the defense that is or was that bad. We're not sure what to see here, but we will. And then, of course, Darren Waller. He could possibly rip the Ravens apart if the Ravens don't have a game plan because he is their number one wide receiver. Tune in. I cannot wait. I'm pumped up. I can't believe this is going down in Vegas. I might just talk my wife into getting tickets and going. Look, if y'all see this post before she does, just go ahead and hit her up in her inbox and say, hey, please, let us go to Vegas. We need to go to Vegas, baby. Try to go. I want to see the game. This is the home of Original Sports Perspective. From our couch to yours. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe so y'all know when I'm coming. Take care. Peace.